Hello, I'm Debra Peak Haynes, and today I want to talk to you about food deserts and the danger of the food desert. A few months ago, Melissa Harris Perry had a wonderful show talking about how food and education go together, and that there is a need to make sure that our children are well fed from a nutritional standpoint, not just any kind of food, but are well fed with foods that provide the nutrients so that they can think better and even affect their behavior. So I want to talk about this issue that's across the country. It's in African American communities and Hispanic communities, and sometimes it doesn't have anything to do with the income levels. But there is a reason why in many of our towns and many of our cities, it is hard to find fresh produce in our communities. So we need to know that we have to take action. Please think about it. If you cannot eat well, what does that make you feel like? Do you know that it's very important to include fresh vegetables and fresh fruits in your diet on a daily basis? If you look at the news, if you listen to television, or you go on the internet, there's a lot of conversation about that. But please know there are children today that woke up that did not have anything to eat. And if they did, it wasn't something that was going to help them. You know, how many times, do we avoid these types of fruits in the morning? And also, do we know what type of lettuce this is? Many of our children are clueless. And we have to also recommend that you make sure you wash your fruits and vegetables to get off any chemicals. And I always use something natural for that. But let's go back. We've got to make sure that we come up with creative ways for addressing this issue. Did you know you have the right to go to your politicians and ask the question, why don't we have certain stores in our community? Those politicians then have the responsibility of going to those corporations and saying, you need to come in our community. We have the right to ask for help in making sure that our children get what they need. Now, the other thing is, whenever there's a problem, there's always a solution, and it's always an opportunity to address the issue. We need to go back to our gardens, our urban gardens. Many churches now have urban gardens so that people have access to fresh produce. What about a garden in your backyard? My mother and father always had a garden. So every summer I knew I was going to have fresh fruits and vegetables. This is essential. We need to make sure that our children have access. And also, as adults, do you know what this is doing to your body? Do you know about heart disease and strokes and diabetes? All because you're not eating properly. This is an issue that does not just concern children, but all of us. So I beg you to take action. Don't just sit and think this doesn't have anything to do with me. Look at it. What are you eating? Are you eating too many fast foods? Are you giving your children fast foods? Some of our children don't even have a healthy meal on a weekly basis, let alone daily basis. So I'm asking you to look at this issue, look around your community, drive through other communities, see what's available. If there's not something available that will help and benefit our children to eat healthier, and even access to food, support your local food pantry so that our children that don't have anyone to help them can get access to nutrition, because that affects their mind, that affects their bodies, and that will affect their opportunity moving forward. Thank you for listening to me. Please email me if you don't agree with what I'm saying, or you want to continue the discussion and let's talk about solutions. Please email me at debrapeak-haynes.com. Go to my Facebook page, Debra Peak Haynes Healing Kitchen. Please like my page for me, and know that I also give information on my blog, which is debrapeak-haynes.blogspot.com. We can create a solution to this problem. There's always an answer, and God gives us answers every day. So I beg you, please consider this, and thank you so much for listening to me.